Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, sisters. Yes, and trust we are having a good day. Let me know at the comment section how about this been, right? Let me see at the comment section, right? Good afternoon. So, all I want you to do is just wherever you are, say the greetings based on your time zone. So if you are where it is in the morning, say good morning. If you are where it is in the afternoon, say in the afternoon, say good afternoon. If you are where it is in the evening, so then say good evening. So good evening from where I am. So please let's comment based on where we are, our current location. So good evening everyone. Good evening sisters and trust. It's been a great day, right? Okay. All right. So let me know. Amazing, amazing. Good evening. So how has it been at our end? How has it been for the past few weeks now? A quick announcement just before the class really starts so that we can take that time to wait for some of our people as they join the class sections. Um, we were asked to actually drop our progressive work on our portfolio, right? And of course, expectations, our class expectations. Then we realized that quite a number of us did not, maybe few, those that viewed, some shared empty portfolio link. Well, you are not doing that for me, anyways. But one thing I like for us to know is that there's a mentorship section of this class, and mentorship section is not just going to be automatic for everyone, right? It's going to be based on some criteria, and I think we have mentioned this before. Now it's going to be based on criteria, and then those criteria are what we're going to be using to select people who will be qualified after this. That's number one. Number two, our project will be shared with us soon. Any moment from now, the project document will be shared with us. It's a progressive document, and then we are expected to start working on those projects as soon as you get the document. So start working on it, and then you can begin to make progress right with your project as soon as you get the project document. What other thing do I have to say? You are not installing anything with GitHub. You are not installing anything with GitHub. If you need help with GitHub, you really need to check the video again. You are not doing any installation when it comes to your GitHub. My volume is low. Can someone else? How about now? How about now? Please, can someone confirm? Can someone please help me confirm at the comment section? Okay, it's better now. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm so sorry about that. I think I left my enhancement plugged to the system was why that was there. So it was picking the volume from the enhancement far away. Um, okay, so how can we add the pivot table to our portfolio? Uh, Queen Ora, if you were in the last class, I think I mentioned something around this. I said your pivot table, you can screenshot something that looks like your how's it called now? Your pivot. That's your pivot image, and then you bring it in and then you show it the structure of the table. That's the table structure in your visualization actually. I let me hope that by the time we return from the break, if I have that luxury of time, I will share or I will just preview a particular portfolio with you guys, and then you will see what this person did while in this later class. I saw one portfolio, and then it's thrilling. It's amazing. It's amazing. So that's that about that. All right. So let me know if you are ready for this class. You can save your columns and bar charts too. You can just even screenshot that table and then you import it. Because if you need to show that table, you need to just screenshot it and then you import it. So, right, how many of us are ready for tonight's section? Tonight's section, we're actually talking about data entry and, of course, connecting to different data sources in Power BI. Data entry in Power BI and then connecting to data sources that we have in Power BI. So, how many of us are anticipating what we're about to do tonight? How many of us are anticipating that? Ready, 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 ready. Gallantly, we are ready. I like that. I like that, Fatima. Gallantly, we are ready. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I pray I understand and flow along. You will understand and you will flow along. You will understand and you will flow along. Right? All right. So let me quickly let me share my first screen. I will do a little of document sharing here, and after which I will now okay, so please check. Team, please let me put up that upstage so that I can. Yes, thank you. All right, so now what we want to start with here is the principles of data visualization. Now, principles of data visualization. And when we say principles of data visualization, what are we actually talking about? So, what we are saying is what are the ways or what are the things that we should take note of when we are talking of data visualization? All right. So, yes, your query must be screenshot if you want to put all your queries in your portfolio. It must be screenshotted. All right. For those that have submitted their maybe updated their portfolio, I will share. I will, of course, I have all the link. So if you are working on it, don't worry. If you still have some things to do, if you still have updates to add to your portfolio, keep doing it. As I refresh here, I see the update. So you don't need to submit again. Does that make sense now? You don't need to submit again. Once you are updating your portfolio, as soon as I open the link again here, I get the update. So you don't need to reshare or refill the form again. All right. So there are principles that you must actually understand when you are talking about building a dashboard or a report, as the case may be with your Power BI. Of course, there are some other things we can do with it because we want to look at data entry here. So, but then there are ways by which or approaches that you might or you need to explore so that you can have it good. So, determine your audience. Now, let me take for instance, you need to know who exactly you are presenting this to. And what I mean by that is to say that, say for instance, you have an interview or you probably work on a dashboard for an organization, maybe like, for instance, maybe like MTN now. What comes to your mind? Anybody? What comes to your mind? Let me see. Let me see. What comes to your mind? Yes, I'm waiting at the comment section to try and see if I can see a few things. What comes to your mind? Communication, yellow, exactly. People's data, yellow and blue. Where did you see blue? Well, maybe there is blue anyway, but then what comes to your mind? I've actually picked the two things I want to see now. Yellow is consistent, and then telecommunication, MTN logo, right? The brand color, that is the exact thing I was actually looking for. Now that comes to your mind because you know that MTN has a particular brand identification that is determine your audience. So imagine I am going for a presentation in an MTN office organization, and all my presentation just is having something like this a liter feel. Do you get? Just before you start presentation, they will end your presentation for you. It's as simple as that. Because you are not intelligent enough to know or to determine the kind of audience you have. So you must understand your audience. Now, also you must also know the kind of questions you want to answer at the end by understanding your users. Somebody's laughing, right? Before you start it, you will end it now. So what question will your end users need answered? So that means you must have gotten the objective of that particular what
data, and then you know what you are working on. So choose the right kind of charts and depict the type of information you have. Now I'll be showing us a bit of types of design or visualization even from this presentation before we go to the hands-on. We're going to do some hands-on. Okay, before we continue, I think I should also ask, how many of us have access to the data that was shared on our LMS today? We have about maybe 4 or 5 data shared on the LMS. How many of us have been able to download them? If you have downloaded those files, let me know at the comment section. There are about some number of files. Oh, amazing. Thank you. Ellen J, thank you. Oh, Yemi, thank you. Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, amazing. I like that. Oh, really? You guys are really, really, really ready for tonight. Three. I think it's more than three, so you might need to check. It is three. It's more than three, actually. So I think we have a columnar data, we have the HR data, we have the liter inventory sales, and then we have maybe one more loan data. If I've mentioned that, so maybe four data now. Yes, it's four. Thank you. So please confirm if you have three. Maybe you have one more to pick up, and then you'll be sure you are good to go. All right. So you need to also provide the necessary context for the data to be interpreted and acted upon appropriately. So you need to provide the necessary context. So now you remember that when we're talking about our documentation, every detail counts. All right. So when you are talking about your visualization, what you need to do is you want to get the attention of your audience in less time. Even before they read anything from your report, the pictorial representation they see alone has done the talking. From there, they can easily say, this is what you are trying to say, this is what you are trying to say. So if need be that you have to talk, you must now just justify what they are seeing. Then the other thing is, keep it simple, please. Keep your visualization simple. You don't need to put up any ambiguous presentation, remove any non-essential information, please. And then choose colors carefully to draw the attention while also considering accessibility issues such as contrast. I mentioned that earlier, right? You have to choose colors carefully, particularly when you are dealing with organizations that respect that. Now, seek balance in your visual elements, including texture, color, shapes, negative space, and all of that. Then use patterns. That is your chart type or your chart type. I'm taking my time to talk about this because by the time we start visualization, I wouldn't be able to go back, or we won't be able to go back to this presentation. So I need us to just have this at the back of our mind that as an analyst, you also need to pay attention to some of these important things because it helps your communication to your audience. So, don't forget, we say you are telling a compelling story, right? Such that you can make insight or derive insight from what you are doing, right? So while you are also doing that, you need to pay careful attention even to the finest element that you have. Then use proportion carefully so that differences in design size fairly represent differences in your value. All right. So you need to be very careful when you are bringing up your designs. Then you're skeptic. Then of course, be skeptical. Ask yourself questions about what is not represented and what insight might therefore be interpreted or missing. So you want to do a bit of check with yourself even before you present. You want to do a bit of that with yourself even before you present, because if you do that, it will help you to position yourself very well. So in summary, what have we spoken about? Strive for what? Clarity and simplicity. No, this will help you a whole lot. This will help you a whole lot. Strive for what? Clarity and simplicity. Then maximize impact, minimize noise. So you don't need to make unnecessary noise. When we mean unnecessary noise, we are not saying you are shouting while you are presenting. No, what we are saying is let your presentation be simple and let it be straight to the point, such that people who do not have all of the time can just take a glance and then they have an understanding of what you're talking about. So focus on creating a narrative. So don't just show data, tell a story. Do you like that? Don't just show data, tell a story. I hope you are taking note of all of this, because in your what's it called now, your portfolio, this is what organizations or what's it called now, work employers want to see. Don't just come and show us data. Tell a story around the data. Start from how you get the data, the objectives, what you try to achieve. And I think I will, okay, my TS, kindly please remind me during the break section so that I can bring up that particular portfolio for you guys to just see. It's done by one of the students in this class, right? Yes, and when I saw it, it was so interesting and amazing, right? So amazing. Okay, so now strive for a balance between design and function. Strive for a balance between what? Your design and your function. Then note, beautiful is good, functional is better, but both can be ideal. You can have a beautiful design, but as much as you have a beautiful design, make sure your design is functional. But when you combine these two together in your presentation, trust me, you are good to go. Now, the kinds of visualization or design that we have the good, we have the bad, and we have the ugly designs. Maybe I should leave us for us to take a look at these and then tell me what comes to your mind when you see this kind of design. What comes to your mind when you see this kind of design? When you see this kind of design that is up the screen, what comes to your mind? Anybody? Let's see what people will say or will have to say at the comment section. Yes, what comes to your mind when you see this kind of design? Yes, 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 yes. It's colorful. I like that. Yes, it's neat. I like that. It's good-ish. Okay. Trend, clumsy. Okay. Colorful, appealing. I like that. The ugly. Okay. Somebody is saying the ugly. Okay. Oh. Beautiful. Rainbow. Spider web. Is that? Clear and concise. Thank you. I like that. So this is an example of a good design because right from this first image, you are able to say what we are trying to achieve. We are comparing trends. Look at it. Look at the what's it called now? The label here now is telling us that the Convert Ford and the Lev Johnson Ford. So this is talking about what the age of an inventory, and then he has assigned a color to each of the brand, such that when you see this orange, you can easily tell that in January it keep rising, 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 and when it gets to April, you notice something happen. Now it begins to descend in April, all right, and then it follows a particular. This is easy to what? To interpret. I hope this is making sense. So this is easy to interpret already because what you have here, and the same thing happened to the what? The Lev Johnson Ford. Looking at Les Johnson Ford now, you are able to say, look at the trend as well. At a particular point, the Lev Johnson was rising, while what? The Convert Ford was what? Was coming down. So you can easily tell, in fact, your insight can come from that part. So when you come to this area also, you have something to say that, okay, here the Ford is also rising. Now Leaf is now coming down, and like that, like that. So you are able to tell this story, and then which leads to your what? Insight generation. I hope this is making sense to us. Is it making sense? Is it making sense? All right. So if you look at this, you are having here. Now look at this. This is just about maybe 5 or 6 representation of image, right? Yeah. So this 5 representation is just talking about what? Different region that you can see here. We have American Indian, Asian Pacific, other Hispanic, white, and all of that. And well detailed and categorized. So this is how to have what? A good design or a good visualization. Now, if you look at this current risk as well, accident risk, you see that from green is tending towards what? Light green to amber to deep amber, and then of course to something that looks like is becoming dangerous. And so when you see all of this, you know that this is actually talking about maybe a car speedometer said that when you are driving towards that 80%, you are already going towards what? Maybe the grave. Permit me. If you are not careful, of course, if care is not taken. So this is what the dynamic formatting clearly then reinforces your story. So dynamic formatting clearly reinforces your story. So when you have a dynamic formatting, So before you tell the story, people already have an understanding of what you need to talk about, right? And then, like I said the other time, I said keep it simple and custom. So simple custom chart design. This is just an example of that. Now, for people that say that first design is a something something something, what would you say about this? What would you say about this? When you see this design, what comes to your mind? I know, and I won't be surprised if I have people in this class that will bring up something like this for their pie chart and will come and show us something like this in their pie chart. If I see it in this class, I will know you have not attended this class. Somebody say busy, right? It's horrible. So whatever name you want to give it to it, just do. It's crowded, it's messed up, it's chaotic, whatever name, because you cannot even pick the exact value as you are trying to say here. Look at this. What can you see in all of this legend that you have here? Can you actually see anything in this legend? You hardly will be able to see this legend. Look at this. Look at all this color riot. Let me use that word, color riot. Everything is just jam packed, not organized, right? But then look at what they now say based on the farm gate value of unprocessed food. How do we know this is talking about unprocessed food, even looking at it like this? So something is missing here. So this is what you need to understand right from start, and then you work against it. So maybe when you think this is a very bad design already, and then you think you have seen it all, looking at it alone is tiring. Okay. Someone, Iburonka is saying that you guys should not be angry. That it was a carpenter that did the design. All right. So I just have to emphasize that. Now, if you are saying that was bad, what would you say about this, guys? What would you say about this? And somebody will say that maybe this is not a designer. Maybe it is one young boy or one young girl that did scribbling. You think this is a scribbling until you see the data that actually brought about all of this data you are seeing. This is actually a data visualization. Say, Jesus, what is this? Is Ojuju? So this is a very terrible and ugly design. So you don't want to have something like this in your design. You don't want to have something. This is actually an what do we call this chart now? There's a name we call this kind of chart actually. Um, I'm trying to remember the name. I can't now. But then it's a particular design. Actually, it's a particular design. So, and then this is what is also a design. Table is being used to is scribbling. I know that's what most people will say. Say this is scribbling. Well, if you think it's scribbling, it's just more like what you saw here. It's actually not far from what you saw here. But you can imagine if you now put a whole lot of data on this particular visualization, you will eventually have something like this. Do you understand? So that is the way it looks like. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is accept from our expectations. The accept from our expectation. All right. You remember when the last class we had, of course, I said we're going to share a link, and then I asked you guys that what are your expectations for this class, and then I want to see, and then there's something we want to do with it. So this is what I did with it. Eat map, thank you. That was what I was looking for. That was the name I was looking for. That was Eat map. Thank you, precious Jagede. That was the name that I was actually looking for. Now, you remember I was saying that I wanted to see what our expectation for the class looks like, everyone. So for those that feel, based on the people that feel, of course, when after I mentioned that you guys should not write story, people still went ahead and write purpose letter, statement of purpose. People still went ahead and write a statement of intent. They wrote all manner of things. All right, so we were able to claim some of them, and thankfully to come up with something simple like this. Now, if you notice this, what are the things you can actually pick from this visualization? This is actually done with Power BI. So this was actually done with Power BI. So with what I see now, I see what most of the people that fill this form are looking up to see in this class. No man, this one is not actually talking about good or bad design. This is actually talking about what you guys feel. So the color is actually depicting each of what you should expect. So what are the things you can see? Okay, someone is saying growth. Yes. So you can see growth. Yes. Actually, look around. You will see the color where the color is matching. You will see what. So when you are seeing growth around it, you will see a color that looks like that growth, which is career growth. It's actually career growth. So here I can see what career growth I can see upskilling. Okay, I can see job upskilling skills. Okay, I can see upskilling for job security. I can see that. Upskilling for job security. Yes. Somebody see knowledge acquisition. Yes. Yes. Which other one can you see? Skill solving. There is something you are not seeing. Problem solving skills, actually. See the problem. The problem is somewhere here. The color will be the same. See problem here, see solving here, see skills here, see career here, see growth here. See upskilling for job security. All right. So someone is also saying what? Networking opportunities. Can you see it? Networking opportunities. Another person is saying what? Transitioning, transitioning. Looking for, maybe there's another thing that is with the transitioning. So another person is what? Hands-on experience. Can you see that? Hands-on experience. Yes, hands-on experience. So all these are things that we came about in this class. So here, from what I have here, I can easily say that most or majority of the people in this class are actually looking for what? Knowledge acquisition. Majority. If you see, that looks more bold, right? And then maybe the second thing, or the closer thing to it is now what? Hands-on career transitioning. Yes, career transitioning. Okay, that's another one. So you can see that, and then you will agree that based on everything we wrote is what. Just a moment, please. All right. So based on what we have put together is what we have been able to achieve this. All right. So after we have done this, I think we have been able to see that, right? And then very shortly we're going to be changing my screen. And then let me ask, how many of us have been able to install our Power BI and then we are ready to work now? Let me know at the comment section. Okay, great, great, great. Just a moment. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Right, installed and ready. So let me stop sharing this screen and then I can bring up another screen for us to work with. Okay. Um, just a moment. Okay. So now, confirm you can see my screen now. Please confirm you can see my screen now. Okay. Good. Okay. Great. So now, once you launch your Power BI, this is what you will see. How many of us have been able to launch our Power BI and then you have seen what this looks like? So this is what you will see once you have launched your Power BI. And we're going to be doing a walkthrough. We're going to be doing a walkthrough of what you should or what you will see when you launch your Power BI, what you should expect, the canvas. Some of these things I actually shared them with us last week at in the class, and then now is the time for us to actually see it in real, maybe live, the way it looks like. Now, this is your interface. Now, this is your interface. Now, what you have here in this space here is what we call your canvas. What we have here is what we call your what? Your canvas, right? What you have here is what you call your canvas. And I remember I mentioned to us last week that some of us, there are, let's begin from checking our tabs here. I said some of us have three tabs, while some of us has four tabs, right? If you have three, please put I have three. If you have four, put I have four. If you have three, put I have three. If you have four, put I have four. So zooming my screen, we only zooming my screen, we only zoom my canvas and not the entire screen. So please pay attention. I've tried to zoom, so it was only zooming what I have in here. Can you see that? So, but not zooming my entire screen. So just try and pay attention and I will be able to, if you see that. So I was trying to zoom. So now, if you have three, if you look at this part of your screen, if you look at this part of your screen, you will see update available, click to download. If I click here now, I'll be able to just select the update that is available and then I will have the four. But since I am not doing that now, you have six what? Who has six? Six what exactly do you have, Tope Adenuga? What six did you have? All right. So now let's take it one after the other. Here at your paint section, you have your what? The first one you have is your report view. On this, your report view, what happens here? This is where you see your visualizations. Whatever you are doing comes here. So whatever you are doing comes where? Here. And this stage you have here is called your canvas. So either you have three or four, you don't have any issues, right? You don't have any issues, okay? So this is your canvas, and then this is where you come to it. So that's your report view. You have three major views actually. So the fourth one is the DAX, right? Is your DAX view. So the next one is your what? Is your table or your data view. Now, what happens in your data view? Now, this is where you will see your data the way it is. Now, it's empty because we have not uploaded any data. That is why it's empty. All right. That is why it's empty because we have not uploaded. Okay, maybe you are still, for those of you talking about this, you are still at the online, what's it called? Maybe with your, where you have gone to update it. So just come back to your normal Power BI offline, Power BI desktop, and you see that you have four. So maybe that's why you are having all of that, right? So that's why when you click on blank and then you enter your Power BI, you see that the max you can have is four actually. Now this data view is empty because we have not uploaded any data. Are we together, please? Please don't get distracted. I need you to understand this basis so that we can push. Now, the last part here is your model view. You remember when I talked about the model view last time when we spoke? When I said this is where you see your models, the relationship that exists between your different data. You will see it here and here. All right. So let's get back to our home and then our report view, and then let's take a look around. Now, please follow me. Anytime you upload any data on your, maybe you get in data and then you upload it, you will see the data somewhere at this corner. Can you see say you haven't loaded any data yet? Get data. So that means if I'm ready to pick a data, I click on this get data and then I am ready to what? To get data. Does that make sense? So you come here if you are ready to, or look at, if you look at this home menu here, there is somewhere you see here that says what? Get data as well. So, but then this place is only showing you that whatever data you have uploaded on your what's it called now, on your Power BI will be somewhere here. If you like have 10 tables, all your 10 tables will be listed here one after the other. By the time, as we progress in this class, you see what I'm talking about. As we progress in this class, you will see what I am talking about. All right, please, are we still following? Are we still together, please? If you have a table view instead of data view, it's still the same thing. What is showing is your data is your table, right? So whichever name you have, either is a table or is a data, all you need to understand is it's your view. All right, so that's that. Now, Okay, maybe let's take a look a little later with our file. So when you come to this your file option, you want to see, don't mind me, like I said the last time, here has quite a number of what I have done in my previous work, and interestingly, you cannot even see clearly, so it's fine. So you have here save, get data, import, export data. Those are the few things you have there. Now, let me ask this question again. How many of us have this our visualization pane? Can you see this visualization pane that I'm hovering my mouse around? How many of us have it somewhere around here? How many of us have it maybe in two places, or your own is somewhere here, it is not at the upper part here? For your visualization pane, where did you have it? If you have it at the upper part, put it at the upper part. If you have it at the right, put at the right. If you have it at both sides, put at both sides. I need us to comment that again. If you have it at the upper part, put at the upper part. If you have it at the right, yes, thank you. I can see right. Mine is at the right. Okay, right hand. Okay, 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 at the right. Okay, right hand. Wow, quite a number of us have it at the right. So that means just a few persons have it at the upper part here. Okay, at both. Okay, Uraola at both sides. Okay. All right. Now, that is not to worry yourself. The first thing we want to do, one of the things you can do with your file here is options and settings. When you click on these options and settings, please pay attention. When you click on these your options and settings, you can actually do a lot of things, a lot of settings you can do. When you come to your options, when you come to your options, you see a whole lot of things you can do. All right. So these are things you can do. Um, just a moment. Just a moment. I think I need to reshare my screen. My the new page I opened is not opening. So just a moment. Let me reshare my screen. Um, technical. I hope you guys are there with me. Let me just reshare. Let me stop sharing and then let me share the entire window. Let's see if that will work. Entire screen. Then I'll share this. Okay, so let me put up that. That should work now. Okay, great. So let me go back to my file, options and settings, options, and then let's see if this will come up now. Okay, great. Now it's up. So now look at it. Here you will see quite a number of options, what you can do here. You can see quite a number of global settings, current file, and all of that. Now, privacy settings, regional settings, preview features. Now, go to your preview features. You can go to your preview features. Go to your preview features. At your preview features, you will see quite a number of things there. You will see quite a number of things. And one of the things you will see is on object interaction. On object interaction. Can you see the on object interaction? If your on object interaction is not checked, I need you to check it now. Your on object interaction, if it is not checked, I did not see the options and settings. Go to file, you should see it there. Please, if you are working on your BI from your, what's it called now? From your Microsoft Store, you might not see it. So you need to accept the update you did and then come back. Let me recap it. Let me take it again. Let me take it again. I need you guys to pay attention. Please pay attention first before you keep working so that it doesn't look like you are is hands-on. Okay. So now when you click on your file, you see new, open, whatever. Then you see options and settings. When you click on options and settings, you see options, then data source settings. Then when you click on options, all right, yes, I see that some of us have done that, right? Increase the quality image is not clear. Check at your end, not at my end. You should check at your own end, your quality. All right. So under your global settings, you will see preview pictures, preview features. When you click on these preview features, try and locate the on object interaction. Now, if you have checked it, click OK. If you have checked it, click OK, and then close and restart your Power BI. Close and restart your Power BI. Once you relaunch it, let me know at the comment section what you see. Let me know at the comment section what you see. If you have previewed, if you have checked your on object interaction, close and then reload or restart your Power BI application, and then we'll now see what it looks like. So once you have installed, let me see what it changed to the top. I like that. Thank you, Banjoko Nikosola. It's changed to the top. So that was the first thing I think you should have an object interaction. So I need you to check very well. I am not working on any image. This is live screen sharing. I am not even working on any image. So if it is an image now, I will say probably the image is pixelating. I am not working on image. I'm only sharing my screen. So, and my screen cannot be blurry. I hope that is well understood. So you should have the settings. Guys, you should have the settings. If you have what you should have on your, how would you restart? Launch your Power BI. That's how to restart now. Just launch your Power BI. Okay, thank you. The visualization is now at the top. Okay. Mine is now on both sides. Amazing. Okay, thank you. Now, if you have gotten that, we are making progress. So please, I need you guys to follow. If you are still having issues, it's something you can actually check back at any point in time. You are not needing this for anything as far as now is concerned. It's just for you to understand what the approach looks like. Now, under the home settings, now, if you look at the home menus, there are just like you remember while we were discussing the Microsoft Excel, while Heidi was sharing with us, all these your ribbons and how is the application of how they are all under the menu, the tabs here, right? So at the home we have the get data. What does get data do? This is where once you want to bring in data to work with, this is where you can bring in the data from. And there are two ways, of course, by which you can actually bring in data. Is either you get data or you enter data. Now, you remember also while we were in data class, there was a particular time we were doing data entry, right? I think that was probably the first class thereabout. Your data entry class, you remember how you are typing your data. So something like that is what you can also do here. Something like that is what you can what you can do. So we will try as much as possible to create a table here with a table, and then we will also import a table. So here is what you have here shows the sources where you can actually bring data from. Get data, Excel workbook, one lake data hub, SQL server, enter data, dataverse, and then recent sources. All of this is showing you where you can get your data source from. Now, your recent data sources is talking about the recent data I have worked with. So if you have also worked with some data in recent time, you will also have some things like that. If not, you will have here empty. Okay? Are we still together, guys? Is it making sense? All right. Thank you. Please, I say it again. If you are having issues, you might just need to concentrate on what is going on so that you don't miss up or miss out on other things. Please, you might just need to concentrate and don't miss out on other things. Okay? So now that is for our what? Our data sources. Now, the other part here talks about your query. And under this query, what are those things you do? Two major things you do here is when you transform your data. When you want to transform your data, you come to this your query. And then the second thing is when you want to refresh your data. Now, let me tell you what data transform does. When you are bringing in data from, okay, now let me use this analogy. I love this analogy so much, and then I love to use it, and I'm going to also use it in this class. Now, anytime if you have a car, if you have a car and then the car develop fault, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? If you have a car and the car develop a fault, what are you supposed to do? Wow, somebody say sell it. I hope that solves the problem. I hope that solves the problem. Repair it. So how do you repair it? You take it to the mechanic workshop, right? Thank you, Alade Shakirat. Thank you for that. Yes, Favor, if you don't care, you guys are with me. Mechanic, you guys are with me. Take it to the mechanic workshop. So anytime you are working on any data, as you are getting the data, for you to check the integrity of the data, you need to first take it to the mechanic workshop. That's here. You don't want to know whether the car is, of course, when you if you want to buy a car, you want to check whether all the functionalities are what working well, right? So you want to get it checked. So how do you get it checked? Probably you get a mechanic to help you do all of those cross-functioning check and then check the brakes, check the pads, check the wheels, check the engine oil, check the fluids, check everything, right? And then you can now confirm and say this is good to go. So the same thing applies to your data. Anytime you get in the data, the first thing you want to do is take it to the transform state. And this is where you have here. And let me say this again. At any point in time, you are working on the data and then you discover there is an issue that you need to trace back. You don't need to crack your head too much. Just come back to your data transform. It will take your data back to what? To the mechanic workshop. So that is saying that anytime you're probably after you have gotten the car now, you bought the car already, and then you start using it. You now realize that maybe one of the wheel cover is missing, or maybe something is not, maybe the AC is not working, and then you now need to take it back. What do? You take it back to the mechanic workshop. So that taking it back is what is going to what? To the transform data. So that is what happens in the transform state. Now, the other part to it that you see here, if you follow, you see the way I'm hovering is a refresh. Now, what does the refresh does? If you are working with an online source data, if you are working with an online source data, so at every time there is an update on that, for instance, you are working with a Google Sheet, which we will also practicalize in this class. One of those things we'll do in this class is that particular data you guys filled. So the data you guys fill, we're still going to make use of it. Maybe we'll just share it at the back end and then you see all of that. Thank God it does not really have so much information that can expose people, right? So that information, by the time you see it, you just discover that if a new person should add other data after you have uploaded that data, all you just need to do is what? Refresh it. So once you refresh it, you see that there is a new update, right? And here, what we have here is our what? Is our visuals. What we have. So I'm taking my time for this data entry and connecting to data sources because by the time we start working on data, nobody will refer back to this place again. We will only tell you this is what you need to do, and then we expect that you know what to do, and then you do it immediately. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? What is too busy? Omobola, what exactly is too busy? Okay, yes, thank you guys. I'd like to hear from you. Mode Omobola, what exactly is too busy so that I can know what exactly you are speaking to? I hope you are watching live as well. So that it doesn't look like you are watching what we have left behind in a while. I thought as much. A whole lot of sense. Thank you so much, Busola. Okay. All right, let's continue. So since I'm not seeing her, I think she's just coming from behind. Okay. So now the next thing we want to look at is our what? Is our visual pane, visualization pane. On this visualization pane, you see the new visuals. So if you click on this new visual, so that means you want to what? Add a visual to your dashboard or to your report. However, if you click on this drop down that is here, it will show you a list of what? Of all the visualizations that we have. Can you see how many of them? Quite the number of them that we have, inexhaustible actually, inexhaustible actually. Okay, okay. So I should do let me do a recap of the buttons. I think I have done that earlier, and I think I will just quickly do it again because of time. So my time is fast spent, and we have not actually gotten to upload any data, not talk over, and we really need to do that. We really need to do that. Okay, so look at this again. I said if you need to get data from wherever you are getting your data from, you have it here, your data, different data source. By the time we start getting the data, you understand how this works actually. So here is by the time you are done with all your transformation and then you have uploaded your data. Okay, now I understand. I think Omobola is coming from a very fast. She's just taking it a little by little. Bad is an understatement. So I think she's speaking to the design we spoke about a long while. By the time she gets here and then she hears that we're talking about her, I'm sure she will just be blushing. Okay, blurry. All right, keep enjoying, right? So now here we are talking about what the visualization pane. And here in this visualization pane is where you can have different kind of your visual, see your bar, column chart, the line chart, the area chart, the stacked area chart, the waterfalls, the pie chart, donut charts, the tree map, the maps, the field map, the arc, Azure map. Some of these visualizations are what we'll be using in this class. Of course, inexhaustible, right? But then I am here. So sorry about that, please. I am here. Please confirm you can hear me clearly. Everything is okay, actually. Halima, everything is okay. Please confirm you can hear me clearly. Please just confirm you can hear me. We'll soon go on break. It's not yet time for break, actually. It was just a little technical issue, and then that we have rectified. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you. So sorry about that disruption. Crystal clear. Thank you. Okay, now like I said, we have different visuals. Some of these visuals, of course, inexhaustible, are what we're going to be using in the course of this class. So by the time we get to when we start visualizing our data, you will understand how some of these or most of them works actually. So now, insert options. Under your insert options, there are of course some other things you can do. Here you can insert text box, you can insert buttons, you can insert shapes, You can insert image. Maybe you are probably making a report for a particular organization. So you can also insert their probably logo, whatever brand. So by the time we start building dashboard, you see that you can actually make your dashboard very, very interesting. All right. So modeling here, this modeling will not be highlighted until you have data here and then your model view is active. So that's why majorly when we need this modeling is when we get to where we are talking about DAX functions. And let me save that for a later time, because if I should start talking about DAX function now, I think quite a number of us will just be lost in this class. So let me just say you have just add a new word and then you have written it down, DAX functions. All right. So now view here. Under this view, look at, if you check your view, you will see some interesting design themes and templates that you have. Usually me that as me as I am, permit me, right? I like a black template, right? Did you see what I just have? So I just come to my view and then you can select any template design that you like. Can you see that? You can just select any template design that you like. You can do something like maybe something that looks like liter, right? Can do something like this. Can do something like whatever you like. Actually, you can do something like this as well. Did you see that? So as much as you like, this is where you can actually set your theme. So here is where you have your team so that you can see how your data looks like, or when you start present your presentation, this is where you will know. All right, so he's saying that once your data is loaded, this place will actually change actually. So now that is, now under this your view page, under this your page view, you can see fit to page, fit to width, and the actual size. Here you just need to see the way the picture is. You know, we have just one page here. If you have more than one page and then you want to see all of them together, you can see your page layout. Then your grid lines. You remember your grid lines when we were talking about Microsoft Excel, right? So I'm trying to just take this a little faster because I understand that we know all of these things. We know all of the, yes, Kadri, you know all of this, and then I'm just trying to tell us that whatever you are able to do at that side, you can actually do it here as well. All right. So that is your grid lines and all of that. Filter and all of this, you still come back to use them at a later time. Let's get back to our home so that we can start. Now, before it's break time, let's quickly do something. Let's begin by what? We want to enter data. We want to enter data. So if you want to enter data, so that means let's say you are working for a particular organization, and then for that organization you are working with, you have a particular data that you want to probably like an inventory or sales or anything, right? So you want to, so let's say click on this your enter data, and then let's see what happens. Now, did you see what I have now? So when you click on your enter data, what it does for you is it opens the dialog box for table. You remember when you are working with your Excel is also a table. We do not know. What exactly do you not know, Adiola Kende? Please explain them. Don't assume we know. Chinon, so, okay. So when we get to the usage of all of those tools, I will tell you. Trust me, you will use them. So and when we get there, I will tell you. So I don't want to, I see that time is already fast spent, and then we have just a little time to look at this Power BI to the point where we are able to do what, some analysis expression. That's the DAX function. So let's pay attention. Now look at this. Here are the dialog box that I have here. I see what create table. Now creating table here can mean to me, what name do I want to give this table? Let's say I want to give it liter class data. All right, liter class data. If your Power BI is taking too long time to load, be sure you have a good system, maybe your RAM size and all of that. Please, is this page you are sharing Excel or PowerPoint page? Are you a member of this class? Adiola Ademola, are you actually a member of this class? Because for you to ask if this is a PowerPoint presentation or it's an Excel, that means you have not been following the class. It's just the truth. So please just take your time and watch the videos again, and then you will understand what this is looking like. All right. So now, have you seen the way to rename your table now? Have you seen the way to rename your table? So let's name it what? Liter class data. And here now, you can come to can you see the column one? Column one, and then on the column one, you can right click on it. You can cut, you can select, you can rename. When you double click on it, you can rename. Let's say name. And I'm going to be making use of names of people I'm seeing at the comment section here on YouTube. I'm going to be making use. Okay. They're already giving me signal that it's break time, but just give me like 3 5 minutes. Let's round up what we are doing so that we won't have to come back to this one. Please just give me 3 to 5 minutes and then we'll go for a break. All right. So let's say the first one is name. All right. If you notice just immediately after it, you see a plus sign. The plus sign is telling you that you can add one more column to it. So now I've added to it, and then let me put what? Let's say email address, right? Then let me add another one to it. Let me put, it's expected that everybody on this call will be gender, but maybe we can see one or two people who have come to say that what are they doing there? We will not say no to them because they are our brethren, right? So you can just use your tab key to keep moving one after the other. What other column can we have here? Okay, someone is saying I should come again. What I did is just here, click on your enter data. We want to say, I said there are two ways by which you can actually get your data. Number one is you can import your data, right, from your data source. You can import your data. And number two is you can now enter the data yourself, just like you did while you are working with Excel, right? Date of birth. Okay, country. I think I like that more. Country. All right. So use your tab colon, location, age, let's say age range, because I'm sure so many, not everyone here will want to talk about their, what's it called now, their age range. So we might not be able to use state of origin here because we have people come from different folks of location here. All right. So maybe let's just use a year of birth. Year of birth. Maybe that alone is fine. All right. And here now, if you see the first one you see here is one, right? And just beneath it to see a plus sign. You can also click on the plus sign and then it keeps adding. You can click on it, it keep adding, and like that. So just that is how to what? Is there a way you can zoom your screen? I am trying to, but then I hope it's so zooming my screen is not allowed. I have zoomed to the barest. Can you see now? Before I can zoom this, I will have to move this out of here. Let me see if this will work again. It isn't working. All right. Marital status. Okay, I think that is also a good one. Okay. Okay, so then you can now come to your one after the other. Let me look for names that I see here. And I'll be Omotayo. I see Omotayo. So email address Omotayo at liter.com. Right? Gender is Omotayo is female. Right? The country Omotayo is from is Nigeria. Then the age range of Omotayo, let me assume. This is just an assumption, right? 16 to 18. Next, year of birth. So that means Omotayo will be born around maybe 2020. 20. Let's assume that. And the marital status, Omotayo is expected to be single. Then I move to the next by pressing my tab. You can't download Power BI, you need help. You can't be saying that in the class now. You should have reached out earlier, even before the class. Please watch the previous class sections and then probably reach out on the Telegram group, and then we'll be willing to help you. Okay, Ruth. I think I like that. Ruth Ajoshi from Uganda. I think I'm going to use Ruth now. So I want to compare so that I'm not just using people from Nigeria. That's Ruth at lita.com. Right? Ruth is also female. Then Ruth is from Uganda. Then let's say Ruth is 24 to 27. And then she's born in 1998. And the marital status, Ruth is married. All right. Miracle from Union State of Imo. Oh, interestingly, Ruth is actually married. She has just replied. For the person asking what is DAX, you must have missed a particular class. DAX is data analysis expression. Okay, I think we should go on our break now so that let me leave you to figure out what this table looks like. Populate your table. You can populate it like maybe your 10 data. Just use arbitrary values. And then when we come back from our break, we will continue from this particular place. Okay, Stella from Sharifa from Uganda. I think I like that. So I want replica names. I mean country now. Sharifa, right? Sharifa. So if you are from other country, diaspora countries, please let me see your comment so that I can pick you. And if you like, forge it. If you like, maybe you are saying it ahead. Okay, maybe you United States. It's also good. Sharifa at lita dot let's say org. Root liked double having 16 to 18 and range of the year to be 2020. Is your in your own note, just put it like that. Can you increase the resolution of your YouTube from the settings in order to see the screen clearly? Increase it to 1080. Thank you. Then you can also zoom on your individual screen. Ah, Ruth Ajoshi, all the best to you. All right. So let's assume Sharifa is male now. I think we should go on our break now. So Uganda, 16 to 18. Um, let's say 1987, and then married. Okay, so let's go on a break. When we come back from break, we will continue this class. Thank you, everyone. See you back after the break. Thriving Roots from Canada. Yes, Naso.
Okay, all right. I think it's a good time for us to continue, right? If you are back with me, comment at the comment section that I am back, I am back, I am back. Let me see how many of us are back. Okay, great. All right, let's continue. Now, you remember just before we continue this, how many of us have been able to populate the data now? Have been able to populate the table. How many of us have been able to do something with the table now? How many of us have been able to having issues installing Microsoft Power BI? It keeps telling me unable to cast to Microsoft Word. All of these issues as regarding installations, please, you have to discuss it outside this class. Please. Okay, Shakirat, you have done yours to 10. That's fantastic. Still on the fifth data. Great. I like that. Okay. Remember I mentioned something to you the other time that I was going to show you a particular portfolio, right? Let me quickly show something. Just leave this up. Let me quickly do something. Let me show you. Now, you see, you remember this? So this is just for you to know that this person just, you see how many repository? This is just one repository. And then the repository is who? Is all about what? Project leader. Just this is just a quick digress, right? So you don't get it twisted. A quick digress. I mentioned it the other time that I was going to show us. So I checked that this portfolio and look at what I see. Let's take a look at this together and then you tell me what you think it looks like. Proficient in data analysis with the goal of becoming a business analyst, passionate about creating innovative user-centered products, right? And then put email address and then document this, right? Now click on this project meter and then let's see what is inside the project meter. Okay, this is project meter, right? And then now want to see what Delapo has done with a repository. It's a sales data analysis project. Overview. This project collects and analyzes data from previous regions, market, and stores. The goal is to provide insight into revenue, units sold, and transaction categories over different whatever data collected. Can you see documentation here? I hope you are following. Now, the data includes the following key columns. Can you see this now? Then it talks about data collected, region, market, store, trade data, fiscal period, model, day, revenue, unit sold, transaction. Now, look at this. When was the last time this was updated? Can you see? Can you see? Just yesterday. So that you know that this person is progressively working on this portfolio. You can also be like this person. Project objectives. This project was designed to address the following analysis goals. Look at this. This has already by whoever is looking at this. This project objective is designed to do this. Revenue by region. You remember this data, right? This data is what data we shared in the class. So it's not a strange data, it's the same data everybody has access to. Region by unit sold, average revenue by region. Then what are my key metrics? Revenue, sum of the revenue column group by region. Then this is how to use the data formula I used. Look at this. This is just a line of code of the formula she used. Then tools and method used. Data analysis, data visualization. The first one is what? Revenue by region. And look at it. Somebody that was asking me the other time that how would you put your pivot? How would you put start there, Dolapo? Can I be your friend? I'm sure maybe Dolapo is actually seeing what you are saying.
so that maybe she will reply you. All right. So look at this. This is just a pivot, right? And then she was able to screenshot it and talk to us about it. From that pivot, filter chart of the year 2014. Look at that. Can you see this? Is this not beautiful enough? Look at this. Look at this. All right. He says, sir, this lady is a data analyst already, unlike we, the beginner. Okay. Maybe she had the requisite knowledge, but she did all of this with the same video that you guys have. With the same video that you guys have. Can you see this? Inferences, overall revenue trends. I'm laughing because of what that person said. So are you sure this lady is a newbie? Okay, maybe I should stop sharing this. See, when I saw this, I feel very, very elated. Like I'm so proud of this particular work. Right? If I see another person's work, I'll still spotlight it. I'm telling you, it's commendable. So beautiful. Right? You disagree with what? You disagree with her being a say conclusion for each of the analysis she was doing. I suspected so too, but she did well. Okay. Okay. So maybe she had a residual knowledge, of course, like a website knowledge for them. See, number two, region by unit sold. Now she's telling us what happens with the pivot table, the chart, and then the what? The inference. All right, so let me stop sharing since everybody is saying the person is not a beginner. So I hope that has motivated somebody. Let me know if that has actually motivated you. The same data you guys use is what she used. The same class you guys were is where she was, and then she was able to do something like this. It's quite beautiful, commendable, and challenging, right? Please just take it as a challenge. I like that. Just take it as a challenge. It motivated you. Good. And see, let me give you this thing. Somebody is waiting for the laptop to drop comments. So let me see if you can build your portfolio like this, share it with me. I will sell it for you. Have I committed myself? Build your portfolio like this, share it with me, and I will sell it for you. You see why I have this now? I have this because maybe you don't know whether I want to sell it or whether it has been sold already. Okay? So that's that. Thank God the full name of the person is not there, so you cannot trace. Your chest is in green. All right, let's get back to work. Okay, let's get back to work. So now, getting back to our creating of tables. So I will quickly just work on maybe make my maybe like 10, and then will just import it and see what it looks like. Let me start looking for names. Nora is Nora at later.org, right? Then Nora is female as usual, and then so in case now this is another thing you can actually do. Another thing you can do is in case you have this data somewhere in Excel, you can actually copy and paste it. Do you get? You can actually copy and paste it. Let's say Nora is from Afghanistan. I hope Nora will not accuse me today. Nora is 19 to 21, and Nora is born in 2021. Nora is single. So let's move on. Grace. Grace at twitter.org, right? Let's say Grace is male here in this case, and Grace is for Tanzania, right? And then Grace is over 45. All right, and then Grace was born when 1947, and then Grace is married. Okay. Oh, amazing. See, can you see? I can see the Lapos comment already. So that's the Lapos comment. So those of us that are trying to So those of us that are trying to connect with the laptop, I've seen her comment already. So she responded actually. She responded already. Okay, so let's continue. So did you see what I'm saying now? So Grace at whatever, whatever. So let's look for another place. Okay, let me use the laptop. So the laptop is the laptop at lita dot org. Then go to the laptop is female, right? The laptop is from which country should I give you the laptop now? Let me give you. And then so somebody will not say I'm partial already. Okay, so age range is between, let's say, 28 to 30, and then let's say the Lapo was born in 1987, and then the Lapo is married. I'm not saying this is a real data, okay? I'm not saying this is a real data. I'm not saying this is a real data, okay? So let's continue. Or maybe I should stop with six. We have something that is common with all of this already, so maybe I can stop. Okay, I have a gender, I have marital status, and I think I have age range. So let me do one more. So let me do one more. I have a Victoria, and then Victoria at Lita.org, right? Victoria is now a male, right? And then Victoria is from Canada, and then Victoria is 28 to 30 as well. Victoria is also 1947, and Victoria is married. Or I'm not talking about any particular person. I'm not talking about any particular person. Thank God that where I put country, I don't so put Victoria as I first. Alright, so let me do two more since I'm almost at it. I hope you guys are doing it. I said this is an arbitrary data, so that's why I said Victoria is male. So that whatever you see there is not referring or making reference to anybody in particular. So sorry, so sorry, so sorry, so sorry, so sorry, so sorry, please. While I unplugged my while I unplugged my headphones, so I forgot to unmute myself. But I hope you can hear me now. I hope you can hear me now. So sorry about that. I hope you can hear me now. Let me know if you can hear me now. Can you see? Okay, great. All right, thank you. So Palumi, let's continue. Palumi is also male, right? And then Palumi is from Nigeria. And then Palumi is also 16 to 18. And then Palumi was born in 1999. Palumi is single. Okay, so I said you can just have 10. What I want to do is I want us to just see how the data looks like. I just want us to see how the data looks like. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so let's leave it at 9. So now look at it, everyone. So once you have done your data, if you are to impute data like this, you have three options here. Can you see the three options I have here? You have the option of load, you have the option of edit, and you have the option of cancel. If you cancel, What it means is that everything you have done is simply wiped away. Everything you have done is simply wiped away. If you edit, so that means you want to actually edit the table, and then you still have something you want to do with it. Do you understand? So that is what it means. So that means you are taking your data back to your what? To the transform state. Now look at the way it looks. Just a moment. All right. Now I have clicked on it, and then the thing has actually loaded the data. But let me take it back so that you guys will see what I'm doing. Just a moment now. Just a moment. I'm coming. I need to share the screen that will capture that part. Please let me put up that screen now. Let me put up that. Okay, thank you. So now you can see that it has actually converted it to a table. And that is why I now have everything here at the right part here. That's why I have everything. So if I want to do anything again, I will take it back to where? To transform. If you click on transform, it will open your table back for you. Does that make sense? If you click on transform, it will open your table back for you. So let me close and apply. So there's something okay. So something I wanted to show you guys here is this edit. When you take it to edit, it takes your data to, it takes it out and then takes it to your query. And then when you load it, after I loaded, when you load it is when you have something like what you have here now. So I don't want to create a new table, but rather the table that I have. Now, from this table that I have now, you see that, can you see the right pane of my visual of this pane of the data? Can you see the liter data class now? Or liter class data, as the case may be. Liter class data. Can you see the liter class data? If you can see it, let me know. Does yours have the same thing like I have it? The last part is a function of what you actually want to do. If you want to cancel, if you want to edit, or you want to load your data. So Power BI, please be nice to me. Don't be like your brother SQL. Okay, let me take it again. Let me take it again. And this time around, what I want to do is I want to copy a data and paste it. Enter data. And then let me start by saying something like this. And then I can rename the data as anything, right? Let's say table 2, because I don't want to. Let's say this is table 2. And then let me look for a place where I have maybe a data that I can actually copy. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me just pick a few of this data. Since we have used this before, let me just copy it. Come here. Now, did you see what I did? Let's assume I have just So what I did was just copy and paste this time around. Do you get what I did this time around was just what I copied and I pasted my what my data. Let's assume I have the data from somewhere. That was what I did. So I now said here, if you edit this data, it will take it directly to your query editor. If you load it, it will come to this side. So if I put this as table 2 now, and if I say load it, if I am sure everything is correct and I say load it, you will see what happens. So you will look at this place. Now, if you look at this place, can you see liter class data, and then beneath it, can you see table 2? Liter class data and table 2. Can you see the two now? You click edit. How do you go back to click load? Now, when you click edit, come back to transform data. Come back to transform data. You see this transform data here? Then you now come to close and apply. Close and apply. I hope you are not using Pentium 1. How do you go back? I have just explained it. Come back to your so I told you the other time, I said anytime you are working on your data, or if your car is faulty, you take it to what? To the mechanic workshop. And that your mechanic workshop is your what? Is your transform state. In that transform state, what you are doing is you want to take or do necessary correction. And once you are done, what you will now do is what? Close and apply your settings. Close and apply your settings. You will see it somewhere here. I'm trying to see why. Just a moment. My screen is not supposed to be blank. Just a moment, please. Okay. Just a moment, please. Just a moment. So the issue I'm having is I'm trying to bring up that my transform state is not showing on the screen. My transform, so that's why I'm trying to sort. Okay, let me see if I have to stop sharing this, and then I'll go back to this, share this. Now, can you see this screen now? Now, can you see this screen? This is where you most likely see your. So this is the close and apply that I was telling you. Can you see the close and apply somewhere here? When you click on this drop down, you see close and apply here. Can you see? So when you click close and apply, it goes back. And then let's go back to our studio now. Yes, let's go back to the Power BI now. Then we are back here. All right. So that's how to what? That's how to work on your data. Now here I have two data here already. The first one is what? Liter class data. The second one is table 2. Don't bother yourself. Don't bother yourself about how I got. So what I'm just telling you is you can also copy and paste your data from wherever you have it and paste it when you are entering your data. The second thing we want to do is you want to get the data. Maybe you want to upload the data. Now, listen carefully. Listen carefully. When you come to this get data here, you see common sources where you can actually get your data from. You must understand the extension of your data. If you don't understand the extension of your data, you will not be able to get it correctly. Now, what I mean by the extension of your data, it means that if you are working with a CSV file, Excel file, or maybe text or CSV, you must know the particular data you are working with. Do you understand? For instance, now if you are working with an Excel data, you see the Excel workbook. If you are working with a Power BI data set, you see Power BI here. If you are working with data source. So all these are data sources. And interestingly, they are not limited to that. You can come to more and then you will see more. Can you see more here now? More is saying that you can actually have more. Now, if you come here and then these are folders that has all of the data sources. So you can add data source from database. For when you remember we did something on database, right? So you can pick from file, you can pick from maybe you can even pick from online source. Online source is probably you want to use something like Google Sheet. If you now come here and then you just type your Google Sheet, and then you see your Google Sheet here. So that means you can use as many data source. Now, let me ask us a question. The data that I shared with you, there's one particular data there, that is a liter class data. What type of data, what type of file is that data? What type of, can you use Power BI as a student under quantitative study? I really do not understand what I mean. Excel file, thank you. Sir, please can you take it again from the tables after loading because I can't seem to find the tables I worked on again. Flat file, thank you. You are also correct. If you call it flat file, you are also .xlx, you are also correct. Now, for those of you saying you cannot find the table you are working with, click on your Power BI icon. Click on your Power BI icon, and then once you click on the Power BI icon, you will be able to see. Once you click on your Power BI icon, you will be able to see a two window, maybe another window where the other dashboard is. Another dashboard where that dashboard is. So that's what it means. Check it, you will see it there. For those that say they cannot see it. So let's go back now. So since the data we have then is actually what? Excel. So get data, pick Excel workbook. Pick Excel workbook, and then let's look for the name of the data. What's the name of the data again? What's the name of the data again? Okay, so let's say liter class inventory, and let's open it. Now, depending on the strength of your system, depending on the strength of your system, right? Depending on the strength of your system. My own is opening fast because of my system. So in case your own is taking a whole lot of time to load, in case it's taking a whole lot of time to load, just try and understand what it looks like. Just try and understand what it looks like. Now, pay careful attention. We might have to extend a little tonight so that we can actually finish this entry. I mean, connecting to data sources. All right. So look at this. You see here that is showing me the different data that is under my liter class inventory, and here is the sheet 1. So under my little class inventory, I have just one sheet. That is sheet one there. If that sheet is 5, it will bring all of the 5 sheets here, and then it will ask me to select which of the sheet do I want to work with. Now, pay careful attention, guys. Please pay careful attention. I didn't talk about loan data, not loan data yet. I'm working with the liter class inventory. Liter class inventory. So you will check the box that is right in front of that sheet one. When you check the box, you will see a preview of what that data looks like. Can you see a preview of what the data looks like? So you can preview the data. Actually, you can preview the data, and once you preview the data, if you come down here, you will see three things. You will see three things. Where are you lost? Do you have all the files that we shared earlier in this class downloaded? If you don't have it downloaded, you will definitely be lost. So to find yourself, you need to first go and get all of the files that was shared in the class. So we have about 4 files that was shared in the class. So we are only making reference to one of those files in this class. Don't forget, we have actually uploaded one data here, about 2 tables already. That's data class data and table data. So we are looking at different ways by which we can actually bring in our data from source. All right. So now let me take this again because someone is saying I should come again. Let me cancel it. I have just done that. So let me take it again. Come to get data. Click the file extension that you want to work with. If your file extension is on Excel, you pick Excel. If it is on any data source that you are working with, locate that data source here. If it is SQL Server, you locate that SQL. Don't go and look for a text or CSV file in Dataverse or in SQL Server. You will not find it. It will not work properly. So because the data I want to upload is an Excel file, I will click on what Excel file, and then I will look for see the data, all the data that I have here. Then I will click on liter class inventory. Since it's an Excel file, then I will open it, and then it will load. It will load my data for me. So you can preview it here, and then you have a preview of what the data looks like. So once you have this preview, there are 3 key things you need to pay attention to here again. This is load, transform data, and cancel. If you have what I have on my screen, comment at the section, say I have it. For those of you asking where is the file, please, the files are on the LMS. Please, can you explain how you uploaded the second sheet? I have it, thank you. Okay, great. So I uploaded the second sheet. Well, it's simple. You don't need to stress yourself. Go to your enter data the way you enter your first data while we were entering the data manually the other time. When you get there, type in or go and copy your data from wherever you have the data and paste it there. You will have it there, and then you can now load it. Then it will automatically be loaded in your. If you are unable to download, we can't help you, because you really need to download so that you can use the data. You need the data to work with. Midday praise. How do you access LMS in this class? Okay, Ajemba Blessing. You also said, please, I joined last week. How do you access LMS? So some of you are just joining the class, and then that means you do not even have your record. We do not even have your data, because if you just joined the class last week, do we have your data captured? So you might need to reach out to the community manager on the Telegram group. Yes, they said the data is also on the Telegram. So reach out to the admin or on the Telegram group, and then she will guide you. All right. Now look at this. Let me quickly do this before our time is up. I know there are questions, but then you might need to just do a rewatch of this video so that we can go far. Now load your data, transform your data, and cancel your data. Now, when I told you the other time that anytime you buy a car and then you notice that the car is start making some funny sounds or start having some issues, what do? You will take it back to the mechanic. So you want to check the integrity of this data, you now take it back to what? Transform data. Can you see now? I've taken it back to what? To transform data. Now, it has brought me to where now this transform state is where you can do all sorts of your manipulation. I say it again. This transform state is where either you want to do what is it called now? You want to use your functions just like you learned in Excel. You want to carry out your DAX. You want to whatever you want to do. If you look at this on this transform state, I need you to pay attention to a few things here. Pay attention to a few things here. There are things you see here. Look at the first thing you see here is what? Close and apply, which has about three other options. We have new source, we have recent source, you have enter data. You can see enter data from here. You have a refresh preview. You have column, choose columns, then remove columns, keep rows, remove rows, split column, group by, all of this. Now, all of this, we are still going to talk about them one after the other. Let me try again if I'm able to widen my screen. I am trying as much as possible to widen my screen, but so unfortunate, it couldn't go beyond this present size. Exactly. Data cleaning. Thank you, Titila. Data cleaning is done here. Okay. So, how do you preview the Excel? Open the Excel on you. If you have Excel application on your system, you'll be able to preview the Excel, right? So that we can move faster. There are some of these questions I might not be able to. What's that? Extra Arogundade. What's that? What's the issue? When you click on transform data, you will see you will be where we are now. Network is breaking at your side. How do you join Telegram data analysis group? When did you join this training in itself? Did you register for this training? Did you get any mail? Florence Chinyere. Transform data is not clicking. It's not clicking because you have not selected the sheet you want to transform. It's not clicking because you have not selected. Let me close and apply and come again. When you click on close and apply, to take your data off and then to bring it back to this place. Now, if you look at this place now, you will see that I have sheet 1 here. Did you see my data? This is where I have my data bar. Can you see it? I have sheet 1. So that means that data has been loaded. But if I want to make reference to that data, I want to call it again. I can come back here. I can come back here. I can come back here. Click on transform data. Can you see transform data now? So it's telling me that this is, but then what I need is the sheet 1. So I'll click on the exact sheet. If your load and transform data is not clicking, so that means you have not selected the sheet you are working with. You have not selected the sheet you are working with. Look at what I'm hovering my this in on. You need to select that sheet. Don't be asking how many assignments we are doing. Small time you'll be asking questions relating to what we are doing. And I hope people will not even attempt or answer that question why something serious is ongoing. You are asking for assignment when you can do that on the Telegram group. You are asking why the class is ongoing. The data in the preview has been truncated due to size limit. Yes, was displayed below my preview. What could be wrong? Nothing is wrong apparently. Blessing David. So if you have a very big data, it will truncate the data, but your data is still intact. Do you understand? It will truncate the data, but your data is still very intact. By the time you load your data to your, by the time you load to your transform state, by the time you load it, you will see that it will even tell you the number of data you have uploaded. It will do that for you. You have asked on the Telegram and no one has answered. Do you have access to the LMS? If you have access to the LMS, you will see it. Ask again on the LMS and then you will see people on the Telegram and then you will see people respond to you. All right. I think we should just stop at this point so that people can go and review what we have done tonight to the point where we stopped at transforming of data. So we are going to continue from here next class. We are going to continue from here next class. Please let me know at the comment section what is your take about the class. Is it interesting or is it getting more deeper and deeper? Is it interesting? Is it getting more deeper and deeper? Let me see at the comment section. How does the class look for you? Please, if you need to watch the video before the next class over and over, please do well to do that so that you will actually understand. I got another table, but after transform, I got the table. Thank you, sir. Good. You're enjoying it. It's getting deeper, interesting, very interesting. I can't get my table back, sir. You will get your table in Jesus' name. What do you mean you can't get your table back? Very interesting, right? All right. Can we save? Of course, you can save. I showed you how to save. So for you, before you can save, please make sure you close and apply. Make sure you close and apply. Then you come to your file and then save. File and save. So if you are saving as, that means you are just saving for the first time. So let me also save my work so that I can open it up the next time we are meeting. So let me save this what? Later class work. Right? So I'm saving my own as well. So I've just saved my work. So in case I close my Power BI now, I will always be able to come back to where we stopped. So does that make sense? Interesting, but I have to stop practicing and pay attention in class. I will need to reward. Please do that. I like that, Onyinkosola. Thank you, because you understand value. What do you mean by truncating data? Truncating data means it will stop. Let's say, for instance, you have about 200 or 300 data. And out of that 300 data, once you get to 100, it will not show your data again. It will truncate it. It will only show the first 100, but then your data are not missing. They are somewhere. So once you upload them, you will see the remaining data. It's interesting, but can't do anything. It is well with me. God will help you. Though I could not do any practical, at least I was able to download Power BI. You tried. So maybe you should have done that and then watch again. Please are different questions. All your questions, you can drop them on the Telegram group before the next class. I'll pick them. Thankfully, I have active TAs. They will also pick them and share them with me, and then I can answer them. Please help work on your screen projection before the next class. Thank you. I will do that. Deeper and deeper, I will prefer using this Power BI than Excel for my research. Actually, my transform button is not displaying. Your transform button must display. All right, different question, Biko. How can I delete uploaded file on my GitHub? Go and watch that video again. You can delete your uploaded file on your GitHub. You can do that actually. If your transform button is not clicking, that means you have not uploaded any data. Please go and do that. For the person asking for the attendance, check the attendance at the description and then you see it there. I must learn this Power BI. You will learn it. You will learn it. You will learn it. How can you edit your table? You can edit your table when you click on that table. You will be able to, when you go to transform data and then you click on the table, you can edit it. Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for coming around today. See you at the next class and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.